Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Anton Bay, and I'd like to thank you for taking a few minutes, stopping by the collection room, hanging out with me for a minute here. I picked up off of eBay. I was buying a couple of series of something that was really cheap, but I went through the guy, said he would combine shipping, and I threw a bid on this series, Lester Girls 1 through 3, and $1, and I got it. So I added this to my order total for $1. So I got these issues for 33 cents a piece. Very happy with that. I think. I love Eternity stuff. I love Eternity comics. Not really familiar with a whole lot of Lester Girls. I know it's a lot of companies picking them up, and Malibu printed some, and it's The Trouble with Girls, and it's basically a detective named Lester Girls, and just always a play on his name there. These are Eternity, so they're, of course, they're most likely black and white. Most Eternity stuff was, I'm looking for a year here, looks like 1990. I believe that seems kind of late for this. I would have thought it would be 80s. Most of these are. Most of the Eternity books I grab end up being like 86 or something. But it looks like black and white, which is pretty typical for Eternity. But the art looks very nice. You got pyramids. I always love when I see pyramids. Big Desert and Egypt fan. Thin pages. Little bit like newspaper. I mean, it's thicker than newspaper, but it's still very, they feel quite thin. The Lizard's Tale, Part 1. Lester Girls. And he's always wearing the same, it always looks like, I think he's wearing the same suit. And he's always, I don't know, he's kind of a bumbling guy is what I've gathered. I don't know if I've ever completely read an issue, but that is always the impression I've gotten, is he's a little bit like Archer in that way. If you've ever watched, Arthur. Harry Harrison, Death World. This is actually a novel. That's kind of cool that they made a comic about it. Oof. Yeah, these pages are super clingy to each other. Some of this is looking pretty amateurish art-wise, and I do have to confess, like, I always notice just how expensive these are. This is $2.50 an issue. $2.50 in 1990, when your average price of like a high-end comic was probably like $1.50 or even $1. Because I was buying like Archie Ninja Turtle comics were $1, stuff like that. Clear up into like 91, 92, 93. And yeah, so for this, black and white to be $2.50. That is a pricey book. Better than Faulkner. I don't know what that's a reference to. It's not Peter Falk. That's like Columbo. Faulkner. It sounds familiar. But, you know, it's making a cultural reference that I don't get, and that's okay. That guy looks pretty bad. It's kind of funny. These pages feel weird. They're not just like paper and thin. They almost feel like a little waxy. That's really bizarre. Yeah, I don't know how to put it. It's like thin paper, but it has a waxy feel to it. I don't really get that. Cat Claw. Now there's a book that I have quite a bit of. Try to pick up those whenever I see them, or if I see a good price on them. They're kind of, they're rare and they're hard to find, is the main thing. They're They're not particularly expensive or valuable. They're just hard to find. And when you do find them, you kind of have to pay whatever somebody wants for them. This guy is a zombie, and he just keeps walking around and doing stuff like a normal person would, even though he's a zombie. These pages don't feel as waxy, but it also feels brighter. So I don't know what the deal was with that last issue. It did have a weird feel to the pages. So it definitely looks like a funnier book. It's clearly doesn't take itself terribly seriously. There's some comedy to it. The art in these earlier issues are a little amateurish, but it's probably, I mean, it's probably good enough, clearly. Like I said, I can't be too picky because I've only paid 33 cents an issue for these, and I'm very happy with that. And some of these pages do still feel waxy. That is weird. That is weird. I don't really know what that is. Dr. Gorpon, eye-popping excitement from Eternity. All right, well, I don't really know what to think of it. It's indie. It's decent. The art isn't like sometimes you crack open a black and white art book or a black and white indie book, and you're like, oh my gosh, just look at the amount of work they put into this. This, I'm not really feeling that. These felt like they were kind of scratched out pretty fast. Colored, sold at Eternity. They're not bad books by any means, but I don't see the amount of effort put into the art that I see in things like, even things like Cat Claw or X-Mutants when Eternity was publishing them. Books that people put like, man, somebody spent a lot of time. And then you get into some of those like weird like Faust and stuff like that where people put like just crazy amounts of effort into the art and the drawing. This, I don't really get a sense of that. I'm not mad at it for it. It's just, it's a lighter hearted story, and it just looks like less obsessive, compulsive work on the art. And it's a little amateurish and not like fully refined. Other than that, the series looks decent for what it is. And what can I say? I paid $1 for it. Anyway, that's my story. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.